Yo, what's up everyone? Back for this main slate that we have for Wednesday. Let's jump right into it. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. Yesterday we cashed on Draftkings with a 117.6. FanDuel missed out. But let's try to get both of the money today. We got two slates to work with, so pretty happy about that. You can check out the early slate video if you want. We'll be looking at the main slate in this video. Starting off at pitcher, I'm going to go with Syndergaard as my SP1. Really good spot for Noah Syndergaard facing a very strikeout heavy and very righty heavy Padres team. He hasn't been great this season, but he has been a little better as of late. Pitching at home, great ballpark to pitch in. We know the Padres strike out a ton, and lately his strikeouts have been going up. He's coming off 8 strikeouts and a 9 strikeout performance. The Padres have one of the highest strikeouts in baseball against right-handed pitching, and with just two guys above him, we got Corbin and Bieber. And Syndergaard is the cheapest of the three. I think playing him makes for a lot of sense. I think you can go up to Bieber. I like him quite a bit too, and probably GPPs just because I think Syndergaard is a better cash play. But we know Toronto strikes out a lot. He has a tremendous slider and should be able to get a lot of strikeouts on that pitch against the Blue Jays. So I like Bieber a lot. And Corbin's decent, but I think I will go with the other two just because he's a lot more expensive than Bieber and Syndergaard. And for my SP2, I'm going all the way down here just because there's one guy that I really like whose price tag I do not agree with. That's Jordan Lyles here at just $6,100. Facing an extremely righty-heavy Cardinals lineup. Lyles this season has been tremendous against right-handed hitters, and his struggles have come against lefty-heavy lineups, which is something the Cardinals don't have. To get him at $6,100 is a nice price tag. Against righties this season, he's held them to just a .220 average and a .392 slugging percentage compared to lefties, where he's getting hit very hard with a .315 average and a .591 slugging. He's been better at home. He still has great strikeout stuff, 26% K rate against righties. xFIP is at 3.84. The numbers check out. He should be getting like at least 5-6 righties from the Cardinals today. And to get him at $6,100, I love the price tag. And I feel like he can have another 20-point game against this team. So we're rocking with those two as my pitchers. For stacks today, I'm really high on I like the Dodgers stack a lot. I like the Twins stack a lot. And I'll be on a little bit of Braves, although I'm not going to be super happy about that, just because I think Keller's decent, and the Braves prices are really high on DraftKings. So I like the Twins, Dodgers, and I think the Nats are my top 3, and then Braves coming in at 4th. So, starting off at first base, I really like Jock Peterson. He's only $4,600. Would like the price tag on him. Love the matchup facing Jaime Barria. Barria has given up a lot of power this season and last year. I'll show you the numbers for him. This year, he has a 4.96 xFIP, 22% strikeout rate. His strikeout rate against lefties is insanely high, but it's a really small sample size, just 70 at-bats. But if you look at last season and this year, it's way back to normal, so it's just a little bit of a fluke. He might have faced a really heavy strikeout team earlier. We'll look at it. But he's given up a lot of power. He's given up a 231 ISO to lefties, 243 to righties. He really throws his slider a ton, and the Dodgers hit that pitch really well. Peterson has a 320 ISO and a 47% hard hit rate. Verdugo has a 222 ISO, 48% hard hit rate. Bellinger, 380 ISO. Muncy, 221. Seager, 243. Dodgers really hit that pitch well, and that's what he throws a ton. Now, we all know the Dodgers can really hit the fastball, too. All their hitters crush the fastball. So it should be a pretty long night for Barria. He got rocked in his last start, and I think he can get rocked again. Jock Peterson, ton of power against right-handed pitching. That's where all his power comes from. Batting leadoff, should get a lot of at-bats here, as I do expect the Dodgers to kind of put up some runs. So I love him. Second base, definitely going to go with Brian Dozier facing Kyle Freeland at home. Dozier's been decent this year. He's been incredible against left-handed pitching, as he has kind of been great for his whole career against lefties. This season, in his sample, it's been great. He has over a 300 ISO against left-handed pitching this year. Freeland continues to struggle with the power. 329 batting average versus lefties. With 5 home runs and 73 at-bats, he has a 301 ISO just a 21% K rate, and he has a 44% fly ball rate and a 38% hard hit rate. Like the numbers a lot for Brian Dozier given Kyle Freeland. Freeland, I think, will turn it around before the season ends, but right now he just has no confidence. He was getting rocked in the big leagues, got rocked in AAA, probably really doubting himself, and he's given up 17 home runs in just a limited sample this year. Righties have a 573 slugging. Lefties also have hit him well with a 553 slugging. I think Brian Dozier under 4,000, given his great numbers against lefties, makes for a tremendous play. The outfield, like I said, I like the Dodgers. I'm going with Cody Bellinger. 5,800 for Bellinger. He hasn't hit a home run in a few games. It's been 5 games. I think that changes today. Bellinger, just a really, really good spot for him facing Barria. As I showed you his numbers, Bellinger hits the slider really well. He hits the fastball really well. Those are the 2 pitches that Barria throws for the most part to lefties. He has a 339 average against righties. He's been tremendous at home in Dodger Stadium with a 356 average and 20 home runs at home. Just hasn't slowed down at all since the beginning of the season. 378 ISO, just a 16% strikeout rate, and just murders the baseball. 40% fly ball rate and a 51% hard hit rate. For Cody Bellinger, 5,800, probably my top spend up of the day in the outfield. And last but not least, definitely going to be playing some Nelson Cruz versus a lefty versus J.A. Happ. The Twins offense has been on fire the past couple games, and Cruz has been hot. Polanco's been hot. I think the Twins make for a really nice stack facing J.A. Happ, who really struggles against power. His strikeouts have also come down this year. This season, he's given up a 483 slugging to righties with 16 home runs to righties. Not good numbers. He has a 5.06 xFIP. Righties have a 45% fly ball rate and a 42% hard hit rate. For a guy like Nelson Cruz, we all know his numbers against lefties. He mashes them. And he's just been hitting the ball so well over the past couple games. Up to a 266 average, 8 home runs against lefties, and 64 at-bats. 422 ISO now, 688 slugging percentage, 67% hard hit rate, one of the highest numbers you will see, and a 44% fly ball rate. Cruz seems like a pretty lock spot in at least cash games. And I'll show you some plate IQ stuff. Like the Twins, Happ really relies on his fastball against righties, and the Twins mash that pitch. 50% fastball usage for Happ. We have Garver, 226 ISO, Polanco over 200 ISO, Cruz has a 375 ISO, Sano with a 311 ISO, Gonzalez, 291 ISO, and Marwin's always cheap. Throws that pitch a lot, and then he throws some changeups. And they have some decent hitters there. Cruz, Rosario, Sano, even Shoop. So I like the Twins a lot. All those righties against Happ should have some success, and Happ should probably give up at least a couple home runs. So those are the 6 guys I like for this main slate. Like I said, for stacking, I'm looking at a couple teams. I like the Nationals. I'm looking at guys like Rendon, Dozier, Turner, maybe Robles. I'm not really interested in this game for bats, in the Cleveland-Toronto game. Also, this game, not super interested in hitters except for maybe like a couple one-offs in the Mets just because Dilson Lamet gives up a lot of home runs. Maybe like Alonso makes for a decent play. Here, I think the Braves will probably be popular. Just the pricing is hard to get to them. Acuna is at 57. Swanson's decent, but I like to play him against lefties. Donaldson's over 5,000. And Freeman's over 5,000, so they make for an expensive contrarian stack. I don't think they'll be the main stack in cash just because they are pretty hard to get to if you're paying up at pitcher. Not really interested in this game for hitters, except maybe you could play some Marlins just because we know Lopez is going to be popular, and he does give up some power, and he has gotten Got hit pretty hard in most of his starts. I'm not going to be really on the Marlins just because I like some other teams, but they make for nice contrarian plays. Love the Twins. Already mentioned them. I think the Yankees are also very interesting facing Odorizzi, who still gives up a ton of fly balls and good chance that these Yankees hitters can hit him out of the park with the power that they have. So I'm looking at guys like Encarnacion, Voit is very cheap. Torres is cheap. I like Didi Gregorius. He had a 5-for-5 game yesterday. That will definitely drive up his ownership, but he's very cheap at 3,900 and hopefully can stay high because he hasn't been great this year. But hopefully that 5-for-5 game carries him, gives him some momentum. And Judge is obviously a fine play. And the Dodgers, I like Peterson, Verdugo, Ballinger. Justin Turner's cheap at 4,400, and that's kind of it. And maybe Seager, but I'll probably go down to like Didi if I'm, who's cheaper than Seager and been better than Seager as of late. So those are some other picks you can look at, but those are my 6 main ones. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and good luck to